And he spake a parable unto them, saying, The ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentiful. And he thought within himself, saying, What shall I do, because I have no room where to bestow my fruits? And he said, This will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, Soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But the Most High said unto him, Thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? So is he that layeth up treasure for himself, and is not rich toward the Heavenly Father. There's the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 16 through 21. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha Kodash. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Aharon coming back at you with another lesson, Lord willing to be edifying and informative unto the elect. All right, and I believe today is the 26th, all right, of April, 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. And I have a couple of headlines into some articles that I wanted to bring out. All right, and I brought out this parable here, all right, because again, it's a parable, right? And it has many different folds of meanings, but ultimately the point I want to drive home is that we're in those times where the typical so-called Babylonian or so-called American, all right, has this mindset of, storing up treasures. Okay, you got a lot of people, now they're into the money system, right? The Bitcoin and all kinds of different stuff. You got people who are prepping, right, in some form or fashion, okay, for what's about to happen very soon. But nobody really, besides the elect, is preparing, right, in terms of having faith. Okay, knowing all the things that's about to happen to this place, a lot of people don't really have faith in the Lord. Okay, they're really storing treasures, right, earthly treasures where moth will corrupt. Okay, but the most important, or the top of the chain that is storing treasures, is Esau Edom. Okay, the so-called high-level elites, all right, who run this world, going pertaining to Job 9:24. All right, this parable describes them perfectly. Okay, because when you go back, verse 16, Luke 12, verse 16, it says, And Yahushai spake a parable unto them, saying, The ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentiful. And that's, when you look at it spiritually, Esau Edom is that rich man who yielded plentifully on the land of America, on the soils of America. All right, once again, going back to his blessing of having the fatness of the earth. Okay, living large. Okay, the earth benefited him, and now at his latter end, he's destroying the earth, the same very earth that he used to gain his riches. Okay, it says, and he thought within himself, saying, What shall I do, because I have no room where to bestow my fruits? Right, he's gotten so much, right? He's gotten to the point where he feels like, when I have all this power, what more else do I need? Right? Besides total control of the people. Hence the idea of bringing this MOTB into fruition, right? To have that total control over the whole entire planet, including the people itself. Okay? The people themselves, I should say. Verse 18, it says, And he said, This will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater. Right? Make America great again. Right? They shall build up the desolate places. Okay? So the whole concept of a great reset, they're pulling down their barns and they're trying to set it up and build it even greater. Okay? It says, And there will I bestow all my fruits and all my goods, right? With the help of so-called AI. Okay? They're going to create this whole new world, this metaverse, right? Whatever you want to call it. Okay? Which will not come to fruition, right? As it tells you in the very last verse, in the 21st verse of what I'm reading, right? That the Lord, the 20th verse, the Lord is going to call upon him. You know, what's that? Job 20, right? When he's about to fill his belly. So let's keep reading. It says, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods, and I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years, right? That's in James, the 5th chapter, if I'm not mistaken, right? The rich man. Let's see if we can pull that up real quick. All right. That he has stored up treasures for the last days. Let's see, James 5. Right. Misuse of riches. We're reading about riches, right? Storing up his treasures and riches and so on and so forth, right? There's a book of James chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be witnessed against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Okay, so the same exact concept is what we're reading right now in the parable that Yahushua gave, right? The rich man who has all these riches, he says, I'm going to pull my barns down and I'm going to build it even greater, right? And now he says what? And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years, right? Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Okay. It says, take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry, right? You got that riches. That's what you're going to do. You see, but here's the key part. It says, but the Most High said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? Okay. So the Lord is going to pull them up, pull their card, so to speak. All right, let's get that in the book of Job, the 20th chapter. Let's see. Job chapter 20, and start off at verse 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, right, the riches, right, the power. Okay, so when he's at the tippy top of that, right, he shall be in straits, meaning in a tight spot, like they say, being between a rock and a hard place. Okay, why? Because his agendas and his plans are not going to go as planned. Okay, the number one thing that's going to come against them is time. All right, it tells you that in Revelation 12 that the devil is going to come upon the earth having great wrath because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So things are speeding up. Okay, but it seems like the more the days are speeding up and the more people are waking up to their agendas, it's slowing them down. Okay, it's slowing them down. So they're in straits. In order for them to execute, they have to go in full-fledged, full force. Right? No more consent. Now it's about conquest. And we're about to read about that. It says, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Now that word wicked goes into the Hebrew word, I believe, imal, which means laborers. Okay, so pretty much the predominant people who make the economies of the world run are the people who are at the bottom right now. Okay, what they call less than 1%. The people who are not part of that 1%, the so-called people that rule the world, have a power over those who don't rule the world, which is about 99% of the population, of the global population. Okay, so those people, 99%, I think this is a few years ago, numbers might have changed, but a few years ago they were saying that the world's wealth, right, 99% of the world's wealth is held by 1% of the world's population, and 99% of the world's population holds only 1% of the world's wealth. Okay, so the wicked, or in this case the laborers, the 99% of the world's population will come against Esau when he tries to push his agenda forward. Okay, they're going to resist. There will be a huge resistance, and they know that. They are prepared for that. Okay, why do you think right now you got some low-key protests happening? Right, I've been seeing small little clips here and there of these universities and and colleges and so on and so forth having some form of uprisings, unrest, and they're using the police to basically quell the unrest. And I believe it's all going back to, the pro-Palestinian versus anti-J people, all kinds of, that whole back and forth thing that's going on right now. All right, I might look further into it and see what comes of it. Who knows? But you have that division going on, right? And you're seeing authority versus the people fighting against the authority. That's the vibe that's coming right now. And it's only going to increase as time goes on. Okay, verse 23, when he's about to fill his belly, right? The rich man that says that, I have laid up so much goods for many years, right? When he's about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and he shall rain it upon him while he is eating, right? Going into the Lord, calling him, thou fool, this night that shall be, this night thy soul shall be required of thee, right? I believe that's what it says, right? So Esau is going to have that day, that one day when he's still in his motion. It's going to happen simultaneously while he's still working, doing his thing aggressively. That's when the Lord is going to put a stop to him. Okay. And many steps that they're going to take, because again, it's prophecy of what we're going to see: pestilences, right? Which are diseases, right? We're going to see famines, right? And again, these things are already happening, but the mainstream media hasn't really started pushing it yet. You see, 2020 was just a glimpse of the show of what's to come. All right. Again, scriptures say that it's going to be a time like never before. It also tells us in many different precepts that it's going to happen suddenly. So the suddenly happens when people are not paying attention. That's when it becomes sudden. Okay. But those who are paying attention, these are the kind of things we're looking forward to, right? We're watching all these things. For example, it says, as bird flu outbreaks worsen, experts say the situation threatens to spiral out of control. Okay. It says, for weeks, the dairy industry has been gripped by a highly contagious virus that is threatening to only get worse. Okay. And I did a video on this a couple of weeks ago that the WEF and the HUDAT has already told governments around the world to prepare for, martial law, basically. And that's all putting things in stone, because we've been telling you that there will be martial law. We told you exactly how it's going to play out. All right, because they have these things on the books ready to go. Okay, Rex 84 wasn't put together just so they can just have it to look good, so conspiracy theorists could talk about it. No, these are things they have planned, and they're gonna unleash. They will unleash. Okay, that's just how Esau moves. All right, you see what's going on? What they did to Hawaii with the DEWs. That's going to be coming here soon. If you're saying something, you're doing something too much of a threat, they just blow your whole shit up, and nobody will ever find out. It looks like the building just got caught on fire, and that's it. You wake up one day, your car is cooked. You'd be like, what the hell happened? Hey, this is the type of technology they have. All these super soldiers, right? All this enhanced biometrics, all this stuff that they got going on. Okay, but let's read. It says, federal regulators announced this week that samples of pasteurized milk tested positive for H5N1, the strain of bird flu that has jumped from poultry to cows with the recent infection in an American. Whoa. Whoa. It's very interesting because a few weeks before the eclipse, right, the so-called eclipse that happened, I think a few days actually before that, I did a video going into how, I believe in Colorado, they did a drill. And in the drill, they said that patients were coming in, and it was a bioterrorist attack, right? And what happened was that there was some type of contagion in people's milk. That was exactly what the drill was out there in Colorado. They had the Colorado cops, right? The police force, many different communication lines were being tested. Okay, the emergency rooms was being tested as well, right? So how come they did a drill, all right, on something happening to people's milk, and now we got federal regulators announcing this week that samples of pasteurized milk tested positive? I mean, hey, we'll see, right? We'll see. So it says, at the moment, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, which is a very corrupt agency, okay, reports that the country's milk supply is safe. Yeah, right. Thanks to the pasteurizing process, which works by heating milk to kill bacteria and viruses, and the diversion or destruction of milk from sick cows. Right? And when you do that, you kill all the good nutrients in the milk, right? The Lord created the milk for a reason, right? So when you take it and then you kill all the the nutrition in it, talking about you killing off bacteria and viruses. Come on. You know what I'm saying? These devils, man. They touch everything that's good and then they destroy it in the name of fixing it, when there's nothing wrong with it in the first place. You see? But what's wrong with it is that we can't make money off of this if there's nothing wrong. We need to create a problem so we can make money on the solution that we bring. That's Esau. Okay, his power, his God is money. All right, Eliphaz. All right, Eliphaz. Okay. So continuing back in the article, it says, however, infectious disease experts warn these positive tests are a sign that the outbreak is much bigger than previously thought and indicate that the government doesn't have a good grasp on the situation. There you go. Okay, it's very interesting, but let's see what happens after the first couple of weeks of May. Once the treaty, One Accord treaty with the Houthi and everything is all squared away, I believe they have another thing coming up in September of this year as well, but we'll see, right? I'm very interested to see what kind of propaganda starts coming up with this whole H5N1 thing once they're done with the whole Houthi situation, okay? And trust and believe, you're going to start hearing the news start paying attention to this. They're going to start bringing it into the people's minds so they can start the fear propaganda. Watch. You're going to start hearing about the cases and what the government is going to do. And they already got the Vanessa. They already told you that they already got the Vanessa for it. So you already know. Now it's about pushing the people into the direction of taking that Vanessa. That's going to come with chaos and hell. Okay? It says, and the problem only seems to be worsening. According to the USDA's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service, APHIS, they always got to abbreviate everything, H5N1 has been identified in 33 herds in 8 states. On Thursday, a senior FDA official said 1 in 5 milk samples have tested positive for H5N1. So if you're drinking milk, it says, while experts aren't expecting a H5N1 endemic in humans, experts, here we go with those experts again, to spread across the United States this year, yet it's likely it could be the next endemic in the not so distant future. There you go. All right. This is, they're letting us know. It says the fact that the current spread between species and even to a few humans is likely underestimated could mean that an emergency could arrive too late to contain. There you go. Caitlin Gerolina, an epidemiologist and author of the newsletter Your Local Epidemiologist, told Salon the worst case scenario is that this turns into a massive epidemic. Wow. If a person asked a group of epidemiologists what the next endemic is going to be, the majority would likely say bird flu, she said. There you go. Woo! They're telling us, man. So then we have to see this and warn the people, right? Pestilences, man. America's going to get hit and rocked seriously. And that's going to shift us right into what you see out there in China with the whole technology to come save the day. You know? Let's read. It says, I think I think what would be most helpful is to mount a proactive response rather than always being in this reactive defensive mode with diseases, Jetelina said. If we can understand where it's going, how it's changing, then we can certainly prepare and know when it jumps to humans, and when we do, when it says, and when we do need to employ all the other steps. What are those other steps, Miss Jetelina? You want to tell us? Let's read. Such steps include making more. First thing they said is Vanessa's. Starting to get frontline workers Vanessa and more. There you go. There you go. Okay, so 2020 is coming back. 2021 is coming back all over again, but this time with a punch, a knockout punch. Right? Continue, says, but if we're not following it, this could easily jump and start spreading without us knowing for a while. Jetelina said. And by then, we're already in this reactive defensive perspective. Okay? Now remember, I think it was, who was it said this? Either Gil Bates or Professor Klaus Schwab. Okay? But one of them was saying that this next demic or next virus or whatever is going to be like crazy, right? So then I was like, oh, okay, so then that means that the measures that they're going to have to take to stop the virus, or at least to put it in check, is going to be even crazier, right? So look at what happened with China, where people were locked down. They couldn't leave their houses, man. I remember seeing videos of people jumping from high floors, high buildings, tall buildings, and straight to their death because they just couldn't take it anymore. Okay? They built mad like quarantine zones and shit, and people were living in there. You know? I remember that. So all these kinds of weirdo videos, man. You know? And then Klaus Schwab comes out and says that the Chinese model is very attractive. It's like, okay. All right, bro. So we're reading about it. We're reading what they're intending to do very soon, at least to the American public. Okay? It says just like humans, birds can get the flu. When that happens, they can pass it on to other poultry, such as chickens, ducks, and turkeys. So there goes your Thanksgiving right there. All right, there goes your Thanksgiving right there. It says, but the most recent strain of avian influenza, H5N1, has jumped species. Fauci must have tempered with something in them labs, in them Ukrainian labs. Fauci. It says, instead of only infecting fellow birds, the current outbreak is infecting dairy cows. So it's a nice way to eliminate the food, right, that people normally eat in America. I haven't seen too much of the pork. I don't know if the pork is immune, the swine, they're immune to this. But it's pretty much targeting the chickens, the turkeys, the cows, right? Milk, you know. Interesting. Let's see, it says, in the most recent confirmed human case, the virus spread from a cow to a human, which is the first time cow to human transmission has happened. I wonder how that took place. It says the last time a human tested positive for H5N1 was in April 2022 in Colorado. When an individual got infected from poultry. I bet he drank milk. It says, as Salon previously reported, one major concern is that the more it jumps from animal to animal or animal to human, the more likely it is to mutate to become more effective at infecting humans. Wow. Let's go. Let me see. Yeah, this article is pretty long, but we got the point. There's another article that I want to tie in real quick with what's going on with the health aspect of things, right? Now you're starting to see that the endemic that's going to hit, they already have it in place that they're going to use the bird flu or something similar to that. Who knows, right? They can always change it up. Who knows? But the next thing that we also got to pay attention to is the whole concept of this whole retail apocalypse, right? It's been going on for years, even prior to the endemic, right? But this now, they're being a little specific, right? Check this out. It says Walmart, right? That very Walmart that all of us talk about. Yes, Walmart confirms shoppers have just weeks until store closes for good after worrying statement on quote unquote bad performance. So that's an indicator of what? The famines that's yet to commence here in America, because Walmart is one of the biggest you know retail stores in America. Okay, everywhere you go, every state has Walmart in there, multiple. Okay, to my knowledge, at least, right? So, looking at that, and they're coming out and telling you that they're gonna close down for good. We've been telling you for years that they're gonna shut down all the Walmarts around, or most of it, and turn them all into so-called camps, FEMA camps, quarantine camps, concentration camps. Okay, and yo, there are certain Walmarts when you go into them, the big ones. We have a couple up here in New York, and when you walk into them, it looks just like it's built to hold people, right? All they got to do is replace all those aisles with chain fenced netting and cages, right? And you're going to stack a whole bunch of people in there. You got the upstairs, you got the downstairs. I remember one time I walked in there with a couple of my friends in school, and I was looking at it, I was like, damn, like upstairs looks like somebody could have a gun in his hand and he just be looking down at all the people down there just watching them. You know, it looked like, I was like, yeah, I could see this place being turned into something like that. Maybe at first they might make it seem like it's going to be a place that they could use to hold a lot of these infected people. And the next thing you know, it's going to be a transport station. Next thing you know, it's going to be a hold for people. Who knows? Right? But I just find it very interesting that this is all Walmart is coming out and saying these things, that they're closing down for good because of bad performance. Right? It says execs, short for executives, came to the decision after admitting the store hadn't performed as well as originally anticipated, per local NBC affiliate KNTV. A spokesperson attributed the closure to a low financial performance. The store has been a constant in the community for almost 20 years, having opened its doors in 2006. More than 150 workers are said to be impacted by the pending shutdown, but a Walmart spokesperson confirmed they can move to other locations. Let's see. Walmart is not leaving the California city, located around 37 miles from San Francisco, for good as there is another store. The chain's, I hope I read that correct. Yeah, I did. The chain's other location is less than 4 miles away, but news of the closure has left many shoppers dismayed. Right, and those shoppers most likely are going to be the ones who are going to end up in these camps anyway, because they have no idea what the hell is going on. It says, wow, I frequent this location a lot as it's closest to my daughter's home, one shopper posted on Facebook. It says shoppers bemoaned the closure, saying it was their go-to for delivery services. So now Fremont will only have one Walmart? Asked another. Oh, the humanity, next person said. Kevin Tsai told local CW affiliate Kron TV that the reports of the closure are disappointing and sad. The U.S. Sun has approached Walmart for comment. Walmart has more than 4,000 stores across the U.S., but bosses have announced a series of closures recently. So 4,000 different C camps across. That's nice. It says in February, 2 Walmart locations in San Diego County closed for good. Weeks later, an outlet in West Covina, California, closed its doors for the final time. West Covina. Starting to see a trend here. A lot of these places that are shutting down is mostly Jake populated areas. Jakely populated areas. Right? Walmart store closures have also been reported in Columbus, Ohio, and Townsend, Maryland. A Walmart neighborhood market outlet in Milwaukee, Wisconsin will close on May 17th. Interesting. The decision to shut the store caught shoppers off guard. Somebody said they're so sad they're leaving. She said she calls this her Walmart. Esther Wells, that's her name. She put her name out there too. Meanwhile, Andrea, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yep, that's about it, right? Just got the point out. So, again, another indication, and there's another omen, right? Spiritually, seeing America go down. Watch the food, and all these different JC Penney is no longer in existence, or at least from what I remember, there were a few years ago. There were like no JC Penney's around. They were all closing down. Right? Target is still on the fence. They're gonna be out of here soon. They get caught. They getting all caught up in all these weirdo controversies. It's going. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, right? We used to have Sears. We used to have is that K-Smart or Kmart? Yeah, Kmart. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, I said K-Smart. Kmart. What's the other ones? Macy's. I think Macy's. They said they're closing down too, right? So a lot of these stores, they know what's up, man. They know all these companies, these bosses. They're all in it. All right, they're all part of the game. They know what's going on. And when their friends from the inside come on the news and they report these things and they make these speeches and all that, they're given codes. All right, in the next few months, we're going to be doing this. The next few months, we're going to be doing that. So these bosses know what's going on, right? So they're preparing. They're getting ready, And again, all this is going to catch the average person off guard. Okay, because they don't see it coming. You're going to have no food very soon. Most of these stores are going to be closing down. And now you got this disease on the rise. Guess what? A lot of these stores that are closing down, they're going to be turning those stores into, camps that you're going to have to spend some time in there. Isolation camps. Out here in New York, they already have that on the bill. Okay? I think A413, some I forget exactly what it is, but they have that ready to go. And under perceived threat or any type of, to their own discretion, hey, this person seems sick, they'll just isolate your ass. And they can keep you in as long as they need to. It's up to the governor's discretion at that point, right? So, hey, we got that to look forward to, okay? But yeah, man, I just wanted to bring this out real quick. Just a couple of articles that I came across that I just, through the spirit, I said, it's very interesting, so tap right into it. Lowell, and you were definitely edified about it and informed. In closing, we'd like to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Kodash, the water Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and until next time, Shalom.